This is the Aerox 3 wireless from SteelSeries. It's been a bit of a controversial mouse and an underrated one in my opinion. It's got wireless with a great sensor, USB-C and fast charging, it's lightweight at around 66 grams, and it still has RGB. So we're going to go into all that and more, and I'm going to tell you guys what I think about this mouse overall. Alright, let's check it out. What's going on, guys? My name is Chad, and today we're talking about the Aerox 3 wireless from SteelSeries. This mouse will run you $99.99, which is a great price point between the Model O and the Logitech Superlight. Right now it's only available in the color black, but I think it looks absolutely fantastic in this color. The dimensions on this guy are 57mm wide in the front and 67 in the back, 21.5mm tall in the front, and just under 38 tall in the back of the mouse. Opening the box, you're going to find the mouse itself, of course, a product information guide that you probably won't read, a USB-C cable, a USB-C dongle, and a USB to USB-C adapter. So if you don't have USB-C on your computer, it's okay. You can just use the USB-C adapter to USB and run it just like normal, and the performance is just great. That's what I've been using this entire time on my computer, and it's totally fine. This mouse has two operational modes. One is Bluetooth and the other is 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. The Bluetooth is rated for up to 200 hours, but it's going to downclock the sensor to 125 hertz polling rate. So you're not going to get very good performance, and you're only going to want to use that if you're like checking your email or browsing the web or anything like that. If you want to get gaming performance, you need to switch it over to the 2.4 gigahertz on Wi-Fi, and you're still rated for up to 80 hours on that battery. So you're going to get great performance with the Wi-Fi and still have great battery life. Okay, so let's talk about the shape here a little bit, because that's obviously the most important aspect of most mice nowadays. This is basically a Rival 3 shape with holes in it, and it's really wide in the back and tapers off in the front. And so I had to try this mouse out for like over a week, I'm not gonna lie, and I still couldn't get used to it. I really wanted to make it my main, but the shape just won't let me get a good grip. I fingertip grip, and it says it's designed for claw grip and fingertip, but I just couldn't get a good grip on there. But if you use a claw grip, it just disappears in your hand. And when you're flicking your arm around on your desk, it's like there's almost nothing in your hand. It's so lightweight, and with no cord, it's just a very freeing experience. And so I was really bummed, but I could not make this my main mouse. I really tried on this one, but I just can't do it. Oh, I just can't. I'm so sorry. The coating in the mouse has been great. I've had no issues with grip so far. It stays clean and it looks good, so no issues there for me. And there are holes all over this mouse, but they don't get in the way of where I grip it. So there's no holes on the side of the mouse or the buttons where my hand actually comes into contact with the mouse. So no issues there. And I know some people are going to be worried about water and dust getting inside the mouse, but this does have an IP54 rating, so it's not completely waterproof, but it's definitely at least water resistant. So your sweat from your hands not going to hurt the mouse or anything like that. There's no worries there. SteelSeries has this mouse rated for 66 grams, and I get 68 on my scale, but that's still super lightweight for a mouse with wireless technology and RGB built in. So before I bought this mouse, I was a little bit concerned about build quality, and I'm just going to show you guys what I found on this copy so far. If I squeeze the top and the bottom of the mouse together, it will actuate the DPI button. But I really have to squeeze really hard. And then also if I squeeze the sides, it'll creak a little bit. And it doesn't actuate the side buttons when I do that. And keep in mind, I have to be trying to make this noise. It will not do this in normal use or gaming or anything like that. So as far as build quality goes, those are the only two like abnormal things I've found so far. So as far as my copy is concerned, I would say it's very passable, and it doesn't affect me in any way during normal gameplay at all. Buttons 1 and 2 on my mouse feel absolutely fantastic. I have very little button wobble, very little pre-travel, and a little bit more post-travel than anything, but the clicks are super crispy and wonderful to use. They're so satisfying, and the switches under here are their golden IP54 micro switches, and they're rated for 80 million clicks, and they are dust and water resistant also, so you're good to go as far as longevity of your switches, and they feel absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit different story on the side buttons for me. They're hard to press, they're a little bit thin, and they're a little bit sharp. So if you were like a Fortnite player, that's going to be a problem. Otherwise, it's probably not that big of a deal. You'll get used to it in a couple weeks. The scroll here lays really close to the body, super flat down and low profile, and I personally love that, especially if you're using a claw grip. Also, it's very easy to scroll and it has nice tactile steps, and the scroll button is very easy to press on this guy. So all around, I love the scroll wheel. It's one of my favorites this year so far, actually. Okay, so flipping the mouse over, we're gonna find these round PTFE feet, and they're black and kind of shiny, and honestly, these are the worst things about my entire mouse. They're scratchy, and they just don't glide consistently, and they feel like crap, honestly. So I would definitely put new feet on this guy if you're gonna main it, and it would feel really incredible after that. They've got the sensor kind of lowered down, so it's not quite in the middle, and they did that for 50-50 weight distribution. So if you put new feet on here, this thing is gonna glide like butter. It's gonna disappear in your hand completely. So it's really a shame they put these nasty feet on such an incredible mouse, honestly. But other than that, they've got the off Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz switch here, so you can run it in whichever mode you want to for the sensor there. Okay, so let's talk about the sensor just a little bit more real quick. It's their True Move Air, and it can do 200 all the way up to 18,000 CPI in increments of 100, and it has 400 IPS, so it's a super great sensor, and their Quantum 2.0 wireless technology in here is a great match with this thing. It's been absolutely flawless for me. I've had no timeouts, no stuttering, no delay of any kind. It's just as good as a wired mouse, and it is absolutely flawless. The USB-C cable that's included here is nice, but it is a little bit heavy, and this mouse is so lightweight and well balanced. If you do have to play with that cable on there, you're gonna feel it somewhat. But luckily, like I said earlier, it's rated for 80 hours on Wi-Fi, and if you do have to charge, since it has USB-C, you get fast charging, which does 40 hours of gameplay in just 15 minutes of charging. That's kind of the benefit of USB-C and why gamers want it. Logitech. I really love the way this mouse looks. I think it has one of the coolest looking side profiles, and I dig the RGB light on the bottom. I know some people aren't a fan of that, but I think it looks really clean and I like it a lot. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get the RGB lights to cooperate with me through their software. It seems pretty buggy. Software kind of seems buggy in general, to be honest, but especially when it comes to the RGB lighting, I've had trouble getting it to do what I want it to do. So that's just a heads up there. Overall, I love the design and the style and the aesthetics of this mouse. I think it's gorgeous. So overall, what do I think about this mouse and who is it for? I freaking love this mouse. Even though it's not perfect, it's flawed, you know, but it's such a great mouse and it's got so much potential. If you put some new feet on this thing, it is gonna be nuts. If you're a claw gripper, you owe it to yourself to try this mouse, in my opinion. I know a lot of people have said bad stuff on the internet about this mouse, but man, I don't know if those were all review copies that were sent out or what, but I bought my own mouse from Best Buy, and it's pretty great, honestly. And if I could aim on claw grip, this would be my new mouse right now. I love it that much. If you don't want to go to wireless technology yet, then I'd say check out the MM720. I just did a review on that mouse, and I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description below. But anyways, guys, my name's Chad, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If it was useful for you and you got some info out of it, give me a subscribe and a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.